Have you ever watched someone walk onto a stage and within seconds completely change the atmosphere of an entire city? Not just a concert venue, not just a fandom, an entire city. Because that's exactly what happened the moment Jin stepped into the spotlight in Las Vegas. And what followed wasn't just another tour stop. It became a moment fans will probably talk about for years. The first night of BTS's Arirang world tour at Allegiant Stadium already carried massive expectations. Thousands of fans packed the stadium, hearts racing, light sticks glowing across the darkness like an ocean of stars. People traveled from different states, different countries, some even crossing oceans, just for the chance to see this night with their own eyes. But nobody was truly prepared for what Jin was about to do. The second he appeared on stage, the energy inside the stadium shifted instantly. And you could feel it. The screams became louder, the phones went up faster, even people who were trying to stay calm completely lost control. Because Jin didn't just look good that night, he looked unreal. Fans immediately started talking about his proportions, his tall frame, broad shoulders, elegant posture, and the kind of visuals that somehow seem impossible even under stadium lights. Every camera angle looked cinematic. Every giant screen close-up sent the audience into another wave of screams. And yet somehow, his visuals weren't even the most shocking part of the night. It was his voice. The moment he started singing live, the entire stadium became emotional. There's something different about Jin's voice when you hear it in real time. It has this clarity that cuts through the noise effortlessly. Warm, stable, emotional, but also incredibly powerful. Even during difficult choreography, his vocals stayed steady, controlled, and beautifully clean. And fans noticed everything. Online, people started calling his performance a treat for the ears because he wasn't relying on flashy effects or distractions. He was simply standing there, proving why his live vocals continue to leave such a strong impression on audiences around the world. And honestly, that's what made the night feel so special. Because underneath all the massive production, the giant stadium screens, the lights, the fireworks, and the roaring crowd, it still felt personal. Especially when he began performing songs fans hadn't seen him do in so long. The moment the opening sounds of Go Go started playing, the audience reaction became pure chaos. Suddenly, it felt like time had reversed. Fans were jumping, singing every lyric at the top of their lungs, reliving memories connected to an entirely different era of BTS. And then came Permission to Dance. That song already carries so much emotional meaning for fans. It represents comfort, healing, hope, freedom, and hearing Jin perform it live again created this overwhelming wave of nostalgia inside the stadium. You could actually see people crying while smiling at the same time. That's the thing about Jin performances. They don't just entertain people, they make people feel something. But then came the moment that completely took over social media, the dynamite dance break. Now, everyone expected him to be charismatic. Everyone expected him to look handsome. But Jin decided to surprise everyone in the most Jin way possible. Instead of trying to look overly cool, he leaned into playful energy, showing off adorable dance moves that instantly melted the crowd. And the reaction? Absolutely explosive. Fans couldn't stop screaming. People online started replaying clips immediately. Even non-fans were suddenly sharing videos because the energy was just so contagious. There's this natural charm Jin has where he can go from looking incredibly elegant one second to completely adorable the next without losing any of his stage presence. And honestly, that duality might be one of the reasons people love him so deeply, because he never feels distant. Even inside a massive stadium, he somehow still feels warm and human. But if fans thought the night couldn't become even more iconic, Jin had another surprise waiting. At one point during the concert, he appeared wearing a white Las Vegas Raiders NFL uniform, and somehow he turned a sports jersey into a legendary fashion moment. The back had Jin embroidered across it, immediately sending fans into another frenzy. But people also noticed the smaller details. Merchandise keyrings attached to the top sides of the outfit, adding this playful customized touch that made the look feel uniquely him. Within minutes, photos flooded social media. And then the trends started exploding. Welcome to Jin City. We love you, Jin. No Jin, no life. Those phrases started climbing real-time trends not only in the United States, but in multiple countries around the world. Think about how insane that is. An artist performs one concert in Las Vegas, and suddenly, the entire internet starts moving around him. That's not just popularity. That's presence. That's influence. That's the kind of impact that can't be manufactured. And honestly, one of the most emotional parts of this entire story is the fact that fans had already begun celebrating him before the concert even started. The night before the show, social media was already overflowing with messages for Jin. Fans gathered online, sharing excitement, posting edits, replaying old performances, talking about how much they missed seeing him on stage like this. It felt less like waiting for a concert, and more like waiting for someone precious to return home. And when he finally stood under those lights in Las Vegas, it felt like all of that love exploded at once. Even the merchandise sales became part of the story. Jin's jersey t-shirts sold out incredibly fast, proving once again how strong his demand is globally. Fans rushed to buy anything connected to him, wanting a memory they could physically hold onto from this night. Because deep down, everyone knew they were witnessing something special. Not just a performance. A moment in Jin's career that felt bigger than music alone. And maybe that's why the phrase Jin City hit people so emotionally. Because for one night, Las Vegas truly did feel like it belonged to him. Everywhere you looked, there were fans wearing his name, talking about his vocals, posting clips of his smile, sharing emotional reactions, screaming over tiny moments. The entire atmosphere became centered around Jin. But beneath all the excitement, all the viral moments, all the screaming and trending hashtags, there was something softer happening too. You could see it every time Jin smiled at the audience. There was gratitude in his expression. There was happiness. There was this quiet, emotional connection between him and the fans that made the entire stadium feel smaller somehow. Like even in front of tens of thousands of people, he was still trying to personally reach every heart in the room. And maybe that's the real reason fans love him the way they do. Because Jin has never only been about visuals. Yes, he's breathtaking. Yes, he's funny. Yes, he constantly creates viral moments without even trying. But when he stands on stage and sings live, people remember how sincere he is. They remember the emotion in his voice, the comfort in his smile, the warmth in his presence, and suddenly he stops feeling like a distant global superstar. He feels familiar, like someone people genuinely treasure. That's why this Las Vegas concert became more than just another successful show. It became proof. Proof that Jin's star power is still growing. Proof that audiences are still completely captivated by him. Proof that no matter how many years pass, the connection between him and fans remains unbelievably strong. And if the first night in Las Vegas felt this emotional, fans can only imagine what the rest of the Arirang tour is about to bring. Because if there's one thing this concert made clear, it's that when Jin steps onto a stage, he doesn't just perform. He creates memories people carry with them forever.